It's finally done. Predator Bay 3000 is live. I don't know who's more happy about it, me or these sharks, but I can tell you one thing, I'm loving it, and I'm pretty sure they're loving it too. Predator Bay 3000 Shark and Ray Aquarium is live with an awesome sign. Thank you to my wife. That was the best Christmas present ever. All 21.5 feet of it, 6 feet front to back, 3 feet tall, with the 1,500 gallon marine estuary supporting it for these beautiful bamboo sharks and future friends, because we know that we're not stopping at just 2 bamboo sharks and a blue line grouper. We have a lot of friends coming for these guys. They're going to be growing out very soon and will be on their way into Predator Bay 3000. Let's see how we got here, because it wasn't easy, and I can tell you right, not everything went as planned, but all's well that ends well. Okay, my little cave project is done here. So this is going to be placed, well, I'll show you where it's going to be placed in the aquarium, but the key thing is we've covered the front fascia on the 2 sides. They're going to be visible, and the other back sides won't be visible, and the top, of course, will have rock put on top of it. And you can see that the visible part of the inside also has the rock glued to it. So once it all gets covered in algae and biofilm and everything, it'll look natural, and this will make a nice cave. So let me show you where it's going to go in the aquarium. I think the design will make sense then. So first of all, I have to point out what a difference having the filtration fully working makes. Nice crystal clear water. Really is amazing looking. And you can see there's quite a bit of live rock that's been sitting in there, starting the biological. And in this video, we're going to go ahead and get that scape properly on both sides. But so here's where the cave's going to go. And when you're looking in through the front glass, doesn't that, so this little outcrop here where the tank boxes around the pole up there, doesn't it look like it's just a few inches back, you know? And you're thinking, how is that big milk crate going to fit in there? But let's go up top and show you what it looks like when you're looking down. So when you come up top and you're looking down, you realize, oh my gosh, that sticks out really far. So when you put the milk crate, it's still way over there. There'll be a lot of empty space. It's just amazing how much the perspective changes, you know, depending on whether you're looking through the glass or not. Really the same thing. Does the tank looks over 6 feet front to back there versus how does it look when you come up and look from the top? It's just an amazing difference. But let's go ahead and get the milk crate cave put into place. Okay, so here's the first attempt. First, point out that it's not always easy working with big tanks. I sort of dropped the that thing. I had to catch it and jammed up my hand, so that was fun. But it's in there. So let's just start with the cave thing. It needs to be pushed down in the sand. That sand's pretty deep, and I need to push it down some. On the sides here, I'm going to add some vertical rocks, some smaller rocks over there and over there. That rock here, I'll move back some because there's already rock blocking the sides. That'll be a bigger opening there. Allow me to do a little more smaller rock escape down here so you won't see any of that black trim. Over here, the overall thing is okay. Obviously I need to fill in a few spots and redo that a little bit to cover the edge better for both of these two, and then fill in a little bit on the back. Same thing over here. We got the sides all covered up nicely and everything, so not looking too bad over here. And all the rock, well, let's see, let's go take a look at the current Predator Bay. So all the rock in current Predator Bay is really huge, like big pieces, so it's not really suitable for filling in. But luckily, I have a big sump over there on the 1500 system that's got a lot of little rocks, so let's go take a look at some of those I can use for filling in. So this is the 700 gallon refugium sump for the 1500 system. And as you can see, there's a lot of small pieces down there. So I'm going to grab really most of these since, you know, this system is going to be powered down and going freshwater. All these fish will be moving to the 1800 gallon when it becomes the lagoon. So I'll go ahead and get most of this rock out of here. get it transferred over to the 3,000 gallon on the left side to use for fill-in over there. And then lastly, we just need to finish equalizing the salinity, and as you can see here, it's probably about 102.7. It just needs to be at 102.6. So we're going to bring that down one, and let's check on the current Predator Bay. And so we've been switching water back and forth between the current Predator Bay and the new Predator Bay, and we've got the 1,800 gallon, 2,000 gallon up to about just under 125, 124. So we'll go ahead and move some more water over from the 3,000 into the current Predator Bay and bring this up a little higher, and then we'll replace with fresh water over there and bring that down a little bit. In case you've ever wondered what it looks like when bamboo sharks are breeding, there it is right there. So that's the male biting on the female's pectoral fin. Somehow that sort of, I guess, lets her know he's in the mood, and what he's essentially going to do is he'll kind of bite on her for a little while, bite on the fin, and then he'll pick her up and try to flip her over on her side, and then he'll sort of be on top. So we'll see if me being here is disturbing him or not, but he just picked her up and moved her. Looks like he's getting ready to do it again. She's sort of using the rocks, I think, to stabilize. But it's hard to tell when he's going to do it. Basically, he'll just sit there and nibble, and then all of a sudden he'll just yank her up into the water column and try to flip her. And basically he just kind of wears her down, is sort of the gist of it. So this is right here at midnight when the lights are going out. And this is when he normally does this. This is when, I guess, most shark eggs are being created. In fact, the only reason some of the lights are still on is because of the daylight savings time. Normally this would be like already dark, but so it's cool to actually get some of this on film. They just sort of started, so I noticed it from my desk, getting ready to go to bed, but I thought, well, let me film this. Okay, I'm doing the last water transfer from the 3,000 over to the 2,000. Sharks always like it when there's fresh water being pumped in, and noticed another egg right there. So see if I can zoom in, and yep, another egg right there. So cool. So there's 2 eggs for the estuary, and as soon as this water is done equalizing, I'm going to pump a little bit more out of that over to the other system, and then the last freshwater addition to the 3,000 gallon. Then it's time to just move the rest of these large rocks here and start scaping the right side. Got some of the smaller rocks in there. I have to get everything staged in there because I have to climb in and go for a swim. Over here we can see I have added a bunch of smaller rocks here to the front, which I'm going to use to fill in those spaces and make it look nice, and fix this up over here. So we're getting close. We're getting close to time to moving sharks. I don't know if I'm excited or scared, but either way, it's got to happen. That's right, you do see the python going into the 1,200 gallon. We haven't just been working on Predator Bay 3000, we've been working on the 1,200 gallon as well. You can see we have the 2 braces up here, and there's space for the tops to go in between. And this is technically a brace, but what it's really made for is for the plumbing to go through to suspend the pumps in the water column, and then the plumbing will go back, just like we did on the 4,500 gallon over there. So this is for the pumps. It will also serve as a brace, and these are the actual braces. So it's time to go ahead and start the water test. So the python is in, and the water test is going to commence. 1,200 gallon, it's close to online. Oh, and most of the snow's melted, so I can actually start working on the filter. And speaking of the filter, down here we have some plants for the riverbank back there, a la the 4,500. And I found something awesome. In the middle of the winter, if you go to Home Depot, they have tropical plants like monsteras and peace lilies and elephant ears, and they're like $8 for these little ones. and these were, what was it? It's like $10.99 or $11.99, something like that. Let's just call it $12. But either way, super cheap. They're in great shape, and I didn't have to mail them in, so that's awesome. Okay, that was a lot of work. A lot of those are big rocks. Some of those are freaking huge and heavy. But so we have a bunch of rocks over here for scaping this side. We have the rocks for the other side to finish that off. And as you can see in the current Predator Bay, it is looking pretty sparse. These guys are wondering what's going on, and they're about to find out tomorrow, because tomorrow is moving day. So what that means is these guys are going to get a giant meal tonight, because I want them to be fat and lethargic tomorrow when I go to move them. So we'll thaw out a nice little feast of shrimp and fish for them, and hopefully they will be nice and calm tomorrow. Alright, here's a second pass at the aquascape. So let's start over here on the left. Pretty much I'm happy with that. That's what I want. You can't see the milk crates, you don't see the edge or anything, and it is a, you know, relatively realistic looking structure. There's a little bit of rock I'm going to put on the back. You can't see it, but just to cover some more of the back, create some more surface area for bacteria. Over here, even though the cave was set further back than it appeared, like I showed from up top over there, at the end of the day, this is the view, right? You're normally looking at it, not up top, so it didn't look comfortable over there, so I went ahead and moved it around to the back of the box out for the pole, and tried to make it look a little bit more realistic there. It needs a few more small pieces of rock to sort of feather it into the sand, sort of create a little more realism, but it's going to create a nice cave for fish to go through, and visually it looks more comfortable now, I think, in the space. Let's head over to the right side. Okay, over on the right side, I ran out. I'm going to need to grab some more rock from the 2,000 gallon and probably a few small ones from the other salt tank. So I had to rock up the back of the milk crate cave over there, so they can swim in from the back side and out the other side, and then the back over here and this side are rocked in. So that looks pretty good. Like everything here, that's wider than it looks from here if you're looking down on it. I need to fill in on the back of this whole, you know, rock structure here, and definitely need to get something vertical on the sides so you don't see milk crate, and then fill in with some smaller stuff in here. And same on this side, some fill in, and rock around the back there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some more rock from the other tanks and finish this bad boy off. And I'll tell you what, that's it. The salt water is matched up, the temperature's matched up, the filter system is running, the bacteria is establishing. Man, a little bit more rock work, and it's going to be time to catch and transfer some sharks. That should be fun. Alright, while I'm over there catching sharks and moving them into Predator Bay, let's go ahead and get this water test on the 1,200 gallon started. We got the light there, so time to go ahead and crank up the hose, and we'll check back in an hour or so. Okay, there's the first water going into the 1,200 gallon, which is going to be our Amazon community aquarium. We have the large school of geophagus coming in here, and the angels, and of course lots and lots of other Amazon community fish. So this is going to be an awesome tank, and as you can see, it's got a ways to go, so let's go corral some sharks and get them into their new home. So roughly 10 days of transferring water back and forth from Predator Bay 2000 to Predator Bay 3000, and as you can see, almost all the rocks. We finally have a fully scaped Predator Bay 3000. Let me take you around. You can see we have that nice clear water. The filter's been running nicely, polished everything up. We've got the diatoms everywhere, so we added a ton of bacteria with all that existing live rock, so that's no surprise that the biological filtration here is active. You can see we have that island in the middle there, so we have the big reef on the right with the cave, and this one also has the two eel caves or grouper caves, whoever wants to go in there. Hopefully the sharks do not. And we get over here to the left side and went ahead and moved that cave back and faced it the other way. So we have that middle cave there, and then another smaller piece of the reef here, sort of angled front to back, another cave. So the tank itself is ready. Let's swing around back. So let's see where to start. First of all is water temperature and salinity, identical to the existing Predator Bay. Filtration, all the media is in, everything is good to go. It's been running for a while now. Tops, we have temporary tops up on top of Predator Bay because the stuff I'm working on is not ready yet, but as soon as I weigh these down in the back and the front, they will suffice. They'll be equal to what we have right now, and we can see that everything is cleared up, even including the estuary. We have just one possibly viable egg. I did find two, but the other one was no good. And the mangroves. So right now I've just got them in a basket. What I was trying to work out here wasn't working. Had to pinch too tight for my liking and for the plant, and then as they grow it was going to be a constant problem, so I'm gonna sort something else out. But in the meantime, they're good in here. Probably get another basket, spread them out a little bit, but we'll get that sorted. And then lastly, we have the tops for the sump. So the sump will be completely covered. Obviously the tank will be covered, and the estuary will be covered except for cutouts like for where the mangroves would be. So we are ready. So we are ready to move these two over to their new 3,000 gallon display tank and 4,500 gallon system. But what I think I'm going to do first is I'm going to give them a big feeding tonight, get them nice and fat and lethargic for tomorrow when I move them over. And I'm going to try to get the grouper, who's probably hanging out under here. He's there. I don't know how if you can see that on camera, but I think I might move him over first to give him a chance to settle in before the big boys get moved over. So I will try to get that grouper tonight, and if I do, I'll show you him swimming in the 3,000 gallon. So as we know, Predator Bay 3000 is 100% ready to go. It is temperature acclimated, salinity acclimated. Its biological system is kicked off with all the live rock. We've had the grouper living in here now for, I think this is his third or fourth day. He's hanging out in one of the caves, and I don't know if he's going to be happy to see his shark buddies or not, but they're coming one way or another. So remember, we have our vertical caves coming down into here for potential eels or for groupers. Same thing over here. We got the cave, and then now we have the cave in the middle, which is opened on this side in the back, and then here there's actually a cave in the back, and then the rest of it is just reef work. So it looks like it's close up to the glass, but it's really not. It's just the way it looks through the camera here. Actually, even through the glass, just with the eye, human eye, right here, it doesn't look nearly as deep. We've shown, you know, looking from the top, how that looks and how much different it is. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take this top off, and we're going to put the sharks in the front. We'll put them right here, and well, here they are right here in the emptied out Predator Bay 2000. So it's time to go ahead and try scooping these guys up with the koi sock net and see how that goes. So I'm going to get everything prepped. I'm going to take that top off. I'm going to spread the lids apart, create a nice big open area to get these big beasts in there. And I'm going to set up the camera. I'm thinking, I don't know, I can either film, well, I'll tell you what, I'll set up a couple cameras. So we'll try to film, you know, from a distance, a little ways back, so I can see the whole tank, because I don't know where I'm going to be to catch these guys. But I'll take my good camera and I will put it on me catching the fish, and I'll take my backup camera and I'll put it here for the tank, so we can, you know, get video of the sharks going in right as they hit the water in the new Predator Bay 3000 home. So here goes nothing. Alright, I got sidetracked. I accidentally filled the entire aquarium up where I meant to bring about halfway, but I found a leak. So coming out right here, we got water dribbling down. You can see a little bit of a puddle down here. So I'm in the process of draining it now, and once it's drained, I'll have to get in there on the inside, and that's obviously going to be a, well, I shouldn't say, I was going to say it was going to be a sealing thing with the gasket for the window, but it's probably actually, yeah, it's going to be that inside wall where it meets up here. So that's going to be a defect in my application of the pond shield. So, at any rate, we'll get in there with a bright light and we'll figure out exactly what the problem is once we get it drained. I hate setbacks. Well, here goes nothing. Oh, and someone remind me, I got the water running in the index so I don't get too engrossed with the sharks here, but I got the two big 4-foot koi sock nets. I think they're 4 feet. At any rate, I'm going to try with the one that lets the water out first. I think that might be like less messy, but if the sharks aren't feeling that, then I may have to go to this one, but we'll give this a shot first. We have the camera set up, so we'll try to catch one of these and get them in Predator Bay 3000. The first shark going to Predator Bay 3000 right now. Let's go! Oh! Oh! Oh, what a mess. One in. Let me clean up here. Whew. One down. Definitely gonna need to mop up after this, but wow. All right, let's see if we can get the other one. Oh, what a mess. One in. Let me clean up here. One down. Definitely gonna need to mop up after this, but wow. All right, let's see if we can get the other one. Well, that one didn't go exactly as planned, but he's in there hanging on to me. Get that covered up. Well, that one didn't go exactly as planned, but he's in there hanging on to me. Get that covered up. Okay, well, one of them went smoothly, one of them not so much. I'm sure that didn't feel good for him, but he's actually jumped out twice before. This time I didn't have to bear hug him, which is nice. I think they'll be fine. certainly the one who shot it. That's the problem, is they're so docile and calm, but then, you know, when you spook them trying to net them or whatever, that's how they show their strength. I mean, just they just start swimming crazy and they bust right out. So, oh my gosh, what a mess. Let me dry stuff off a little more and catch my breath, and then we'll check again with these guys. So we've got a clear tank over here and a little bit of a stirred up sandy tank over here with the sharks. I have a feeling they're gonna just sort of chill and get their bearings about them. And I'm gonna take the camera out of their face and let them settle in. But we will check back on them shortly. We'll let the water clear up, but it'll clear up fast. You can see how fast that's being moved around. There's a lot of water flow. But we'll let that clear up, and we'll let these guys settle in, and then we'll get some footage of them enjoying their new home once the stress level calms down. So it was stressful for all of us, me and these guys, but I'm thankful to see them in there. I wish the one didn't jump out like that. It's unfortunate. But like I said, they're tough. They are very tough animals. So I don't doubt that it'll be fine. But let's give it a little space. So this has only been about 5 to 10 minutes, but I wanted to show you that the sharks are actually mapping out the tank. One of them's chilling, but this one here, basically the female, she was basically going back and forth here over and over, turning around, and then she basically mapping out the tank, and then she would keep extending her range a little further each time. First she was just going for the back through the cave in a circle, and then extending around, and then forward, back to back in front of the tank, just exploring, mapping everything out. And then just a minute ago she went all the way to the other side of the tank, did the exact same thing, and now she's come back over to check on the belly flopper back there, who's still settling in. But of course, once I put up the camera, she stopped, but you could see how aggressively she was mapping out the new territory of the aquarium and doing a little digging over here and over there. But you can see her interacting with the male shark. They are definitely, as we know, a mated pair. So if I catch her mapping the tank out again, I'll pull the camera back out and try to get it on film. Otherwise, we'll go back to what I was saying, which is let these guys settle in, and then we'll get some footage of them swim through the whole tank. You can see she was over here stirring up all the sand, digging, but it's good to see them getting at home. So let's see, actually, yeah, there she goes. She's coming over to the other side here. Let's come over to here. Yep. Here she is coming back to the other side. Again, sort of mapping it out, following the same pattern. Once they do map out the aquarium, which they do fast. I mean, she was bumping the walls at the beginning, and now she's already, you know, pretty much got it figured out. But it is really cool because they will swim pretty fast when they're not scoping things out like this, and it looks really awesome watching them swim between all the rock work and the caves and everything. Which, like I said, once they get the tank all mapped, they will do that very graceful, fast swimming, which is really sweet. Especially like whenever you go to feed them, they'll just start cruising the whole tank. But yeah, this is awesome. Seeing her taking all the different routes. Let's see if she's gonna loop back around. Where'd she go? Oh, looks like she's heading back to the other side. And in the back there, looping around, getting a little FaceTime with the camera. We'll spread out a little bit. Yeah, you figured this side out. This is the first side you map. You know where you're going. Yep, there's the turn. Before she would just go to the wall, now she does to make the turn. Yep. Nice and smooth. Little bamboos can turn around in a tight spot if need be. They do live in coral reefs, so this is plenty of room for them. Definitely not stressed at all with the size. And I'll feel better once I see the big boy back there out swimming around. But okay, that's it for now. We'll check back once they're fully settled in. So with a 1,200 gallon leak, this turned out to be one of those times where a leak was a good thing, because it wasn't actually leaking from here. It was actually leaking from all the way up top, basically on the inside of this frame. I don't know if I can get it on there. There is an area right up there that I just thought was above the water line with the overflow, but it's not. So right up on top there is an area that's just not sealed. So the water was just coming out inside here and then dribbling inside here, and it just happened to come out here. And so when I started to lower the water, I lowered the water literally like half of an inch, and the leak completely stopped. Nothing at all. And then I put my finger in there and felt, and I can feel that there's just an area that isn't sealed really at all, because it's way up here, and I just didn't think the water level got that high, but obviously it did. So it was just dribbling out. So that is actually super easy to fix. And as you can see, the tank is still full of water. It's going through its water test. And this is a good thing, because normally the only reason I filled it up that high is because I forgot I was filling the tank, and I was working on Predator Bay, and I said, oh crap, and I came running in here, and even part of the filter box is filled because it was backflowing over. So it was filled to the brim, as high as it could go. And that's what showed me that that defect was there, because normally what happened is I would just fill it up to here, you know, the top of the glass, a little above the glass or something, you know, not all the way to the up there. And I wouldn't have found that, and I would have thought, okay, great, no leaks anywhere, everything's looking great. I would have, you know, considered it a successful leak test, scaped the whole tank, everything, filled it up, turned on the filter, and I would have discovered that right there. So, like I said, so I can move the tape. It isn't here, it's actually right up here. So, right even with the overflow there on the inside. So, super easy to fix that, which is awesome. And like I said, it's better to find out now than it would have been thinking this was successful and then finding it later. So that's awesome. I'm gonna get that fixed. I don't even have to take the water down anymore. I just took it down a little bit so I could work on fixing it without having my elbow in the water. That's the only reason the water's down as low as it is. And I'll go ahead to get the fix in that. And meanwhile, we're on day 3 of the water test, and so far so good. So it's been an hour, and the sharks are out playing tag with each other. Let's see, coming over here, kicking up all kinds of sand, exploring. We got both of them out and about. Oh, back over to the right side. There we go, pick them up. Definitely thinking they're enjoying their 21 and a half feet long aquarium. But it's nice to see them playing a little tag with each other. And definitely the one that flopped on the floor, could, you know, I didn't doubt they'd be fine, but it's always nice to see them out and about. You can see them playing with each other, nipping tails, exploring the caves, going back and forth, kicking up sand everywhere. Very cool. Predator Bay 3000's first moments. We have so far to go with this aquarium. So many more fish to add, and more maturing of the tank and everything, but it's awesome to have the big boys moved over into their new home. So this is the first night, and we'll get some footage tomorrow once they've fully settled in and hopefully stop kicking up sand everywhere. It should get nice and clear again. Let's check out their first feeding in Predator Bay 3000. Nice shrimp dinner for these bad boys. They they went through a little bit of a rough time getting moved over. Nothing too crazy, but obviously their whole world's been changed up, so it feels good to get them a nice shrimp dinner. Obviously they get fed a lot of things. I think shrimp is kind of one of those things that they treat sort of like a treat, or like a kind of a fast food kind of meal for them. They really love it, and when it's pumped full of vitamins and mixed with squid and octopus and fish, chopped fish, it makes for a nice diet for these guys. Because as we can see, they've gotten pretty big. These are adult, close to 4-footer bamboo sharks. So they are living large now in the 3,000 gallon tank, and it is awesome watching them be able to swim like they are here, up and around, over, in between. And we'll see if they catch these pieces of shrimp over here. They should. They have very good sensory capabilities, very good smell, and they will eventually track it down. So the other night was fun watching them, you know, feel out their new home. They basically will go slightly bump into everything and just test every possible path the way there is, including up, which is why you gotta have the tops on there. And once they figure out what their surroundings are, what the parameters are, the perimeter is, it's very nice, because they get that nice graceful swimming, and they don't bump into anything, of course, and they swim fast, and it's very cool. So there we go. First feeding in Predator Bay. Looks like they're polishing off some pieces that got blown over there, and I have no doubt they will clean up these other pieces in time. So as much as today was a milestone in Predator Bay, let's talk about what's coming up very soon. So we know the 1,200 gallon here, this is moving right along, and you're going to continue to see progress on this tank, including getting it aquascaped and all that good stuff. We've got a lot of plants over here for the filter, for the riverbank and for the filter. So a lot of progress on the 1,200 coming up. But literally our next project is going to be the 2,000 gallon lagoon aquarium. The previous Predator Bay 2000 now turns into a marine community tank. So this is a living tank right now. We have all the bacteria and the biological, everything's going. So I need to take everything from the in-wall system over there, the 600 reef slope and the 265, and get it all moved into here. So I need to drain this water down, get this aquascape with all the live rock from over there, get it filled back up, and get the fish transferred. So if you like marine community aquariums and corals and things of that nature, well, we got a really massive tank coming very soon. As you can see, this is a 13-foot long aquarium, 6 feet front to back, 3 feet tall. So it's a beast with the massive runway filter. So this is going to be an awesome undertaking, and I can't wait to start unscaping it. And I don't want to forget about the 750 gallon, because we have all the fish being moved out of here. We have our angels are going to go in with the geophagus, and they're going to eventually going to go into the 1,200 gallon Amazonian aquarium, and then our massive Severum and true paracichlids are going to go into the 4,500 gallon Xingu River, and then we're going to turn this massive 750 gallon, 6 feet front to back and 5 feet front to back. This super chunky tank is going to be the new African cichlid Malawi aquarium. So we have a lot of major projects that are ready to go right now. But as you can see, I definitely wasn't kidding about 2025 being a busy year in the fish basement. You know, we're getting the annex to the annex built for the 12,000. That's in the planning, designing phase with my buddy. We're working on how we want to build that. Obviously, you saw that Predator Bay 3000 is online. Oh my God, it's been so long. It's so awesome. I just love seeing the sharks cruising 21.5 feet back and forth. Super awesome, but it's just the beginning. The tank is just settling in. We have new fish coming. The estuary still has a long way to go. The mangroves, the mangrove estuary, getting them growing out, aquascape the estuary, raising up some baby marine monsters. There's just a ton to do with Predator Bay 3000. But of course, we've got the 1,200 gallon build. We're working on that. That's going to be a massive 1,200 gallon tropical Amazon community aquarium. It's going to be insane. Of course, the 2,000 gallon lagoon aquarium, marine community aquarium with giant tangs and angels and clownfish, damsels, corals, everything that goes with it. That's going to be awesome. And then a 750 gallon Malawi African cichlid tank. That's going to be awesome. And of course, every one of the tanks that opens up, the 125, I mean, it just never ends, but we got so much going on. And of course, why not just redo the 220 behind me, because we tried the floating plants. It didn't work. I don't have enough light up there. They just slowly melted back, and they're probably getting outcompeted by all the plants down in the vegetable filter, because there's a lot of them. And I don't really want to take the councils off, so I took out what's left of the floating plants, put them back in the filter box, and we're going to go with submerged plants again in here. We're going to try some new stuff, and we want to get this looking beautiful again. Fish are healthy and loving it, but we need to get the plant life thriving. So we can let the light through now. We've lowered the lights down, and we're going to try some new plants, and we're going to fertilize, and we're going to see how it goes. So as always, I do appreciate you watching, and definitely check back really soon, because there's a little bit going on in the Aquarium Fish Basement this year.